My name's David Noble. I'm the General Manager of Football at the Brisbane Lions. I guess I got here over probably a 15-year career through coaching initially as the pathway that I took. Then moved into list management when the industry moved to free agency. Then I moved into General Manager of List and Strategy, which basically looked after the coaching group and the list development and list management at that particular point in time. I was then elevated to head of football at the Adelaide Football Club, and then been General Manager here now since end of September 2016. My background from playing, I was born and raised in Tasmania. I played against our coach, Chris Fagan, played with him in a couple of state games, so I've known Fags for a long period of time. I was lucky enough to be drafted to Fitzroy when we were still going in Melbourne for a couple of years. Transitioned into full-time football when I moved to Canberra to coach the New South Wales ACT Rams, and then from there, Western Bulldogs, Glenelg Football Club, Adelaide Football Club for 12 years, and now at the Mighty Lions. The organisational and cultural shift when myself and Chris started was an interesting one, because you land on pure hearsay. You land on what everyone else is telling you, and you don't really have the intricate understanding of what's gone on previously, or how the groups collectively are functioning. And with groups I mean both playing and staff. Staff as in inclusive of all of our marketing, membership, comms, commercial. So it's one united club for me. And I think we both took the opportunity to speak to our people independently. Chris spoke to all the players one-on-one, I spoke to all of our staff one-on-one. I wanted to know what they liked about our club. And then we worked on some areas of transition to improve in a couple of key areas. And one was clarity and one was communication. And they were really two simple platforms that we felt we could build some cultural shift on, and that's what I guess that's what we've attacked in the last couple of years. The development pathway for players is, I guess it's pretty obvious. They get drafted, they come in, they play in our NEFL when they're good enough and they warrant selection, they play in your AFL team. I've taken the path of doing something similar with the staff. So all the staff do a 360 review with myself, and in that's more around their progression as an individual and their pathway, whether it's at the Lions or in other industries, or hopefully staying in the football industry. We want to make our people as good as we can whilst they're here, and then when they move from our organisation, they go as an improved individual with improved skills. And whilst they're here, we know that they'll invest and they'll buy into our cultural piece stronger as a result of that individual development. Yeah, well, I sit in match committee. I don't sit on match committee, and there's a clear distinction on that. It's not my role to have an opinion on selection and who's in and out of the team. We've got 10 coaches that do that. I try to come, I guess, with a more global view, and I think that's part of my role, is to continue to look at the telescopic view around what's going on, not the microscopic. And so therefore, my role is to see how that group function, to understand decisions. It's Chris ultimately picks the team with the help of match committee, and so therefore I'm there to support match committee in their direction, and both at AFL and NEFL level. Well, the list management piece has become one of the two biggest areas, I think, of improvement in the last sort of 5 years in our industry, and I think the personal excellence and well-being is the second piece. But the list management is crucial in understanding, I think, where you are at any point in time against the opposition and the competition, and specifically where you'd like to go. Then you've got to work out the how, like how are we actually going to get to that point. And so there are lots of processes and systems that we've now brought into place through here. It's good in that the subjectiveness of what you see versus the objectiveness of the data allows you to look at information differently at times. It allows you to assess at a deeper level, and I think once you've got a really strong, deep assessment of players, teams, direction, then I think you're able to make some really well-informed decisions about how you can actually get to the end point that you want to get to. We've had a contract extension for 12 months with Toby Wooler. Yeah! I'm happy to announce Cam Rayner got the Rising Star nomination. Come on, yours. The personal excellence and wellbeing space is it's a significant area that the players have got some concern about, and 80% of the players within the AFL believe that that's the number one issue. It's that building of the well-being, mental skills, resilience is a crucial area. So Andrew Crowell heads up our personal excellence and well-being, along with Amanda Webb. We've got a sports psych, Alex Gorman, who spends 3 days a week here with us. We've got a chaplain, Paul Rees, who's on board as well. So we're reasonably well resourced. We certainly feel like we want to add to that group, in the next year or two, to add more support to the players. We have a dashboard of how we monitor that particular area of our business and how we understand, and we're able to, divert resources around the players, who needs more assistance than others, how many contact points we have during the week with managers, players, families. So that's an important piece as well. My match day role is to stay out of the camera shot, because that's Chris's job. He gets all the accolades. I guess I'm more quality control is probably the easiest way to terminalise my role. I generally send the messages down to the box after discussion, with Chris and Danny and the other line coaches, so there'll be some instructions that come down through there. I'll monitor one of the screens that we have in regards to some key stats that we have, so I'll keep an eye on those. And then we have a bunch of scenarios that we'll work through the day, and I think part of my role is to make sure that as much emotion stays out of the box, so we can make some really good logical decisions around what's going on in the game and assess the game clinically and efficiently, so that we're able to make good decisions match day.
Now, Mitchell's getting a lot of the ball. Is he a problem given that you're 4 goals in front?
Oh, we still want the balanced lead. We certainly don't want to give him the start from the source. So, at this stage, we'll still try to nullify him as best we can.
So, Nobes, if you're 18 points up with 3 minutes to go in this quarter, does anything change for you in that last 3 minutes?
Oh, look, it does become a discussion, BT, as to what we do with that last 2 or 3 minutes, whether you protect or try to squeeze one. Probably depends on which way we think the momentum's swinging at that point in time.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Cheers, guys.
Dave Noble up in the coach's box, sitting right next door to Chris Fagan. It's a bit of an insight into what the box is actually thinking at the moment.
Probably it's more in the media. At the end of the game, it's probably, again, sort of coming more from the global view with my role. I'll probably tend to spend a bit more time with Josie and Anthony, with Chris, around, the information that's been flowing around from the media, where he might get questioned in the fifth quarter, as they call it, at his press conference, understand the message that we need to pass on to our members and our fans. So it's more around that media piece, after game, and then Chris does his normal review with the players. One of my philosophies is getting the small things right, and we're a big organisation. We have lots of departments, and the connection that I think we can utilise from football to the rest of our organisation is to get our fans and our staff to understand that we're just a one club. We're a united club. I'm really invested in understanding the other parts of our business and passing that on to the players, so they have an understanding and a sense of their responsibility, not just to perform on the field, but how they conduct themselves as individuals, as representatives of our football club. The easiest way that we look at it is that we're a group that's growing. We've got a growth mindset. We look at every opportunity to improve. We don't see areas of not winning as failures. We look at them as opportunities to grow. We're looking to grow sustainability. We could chase wins through selection or through recruitment, but that's not what we want. We want sustainable success over a long period of time. What you're seeing is consistently improving. We don't have the W's, we understand that, and we share the frustration with our members and our corporates, but no one could deny that we're actually improving. I'm really excited about our football club, because what I enjoy about my role is watching people grow, is seeing individuals and players as people, male, female, multicultural, grow and get better, and seeing people strive to improve and creating the environment that allows people to improve, I think, is what I get up for most days.